Hey, welcome to this channel here. And this is Michael Chu. And so I am a local real estate educator located in Fremont, Silicon Valley area. And, over the last few years, I noticed that there's a lot of people from our area moving out of state or just moving out of the Silicon Valley area to other parts of California. And I thought about creating a series to talk about moving out of state, out of area. And to do that, I actually need a lot of like friendly realtors in elsewhere that can give us more information and perhaps even give us an idea of why we should move out there. And maybe it's your job relocation, maybe it's your retirement, maybe it's remote from work, whatever your reason might be. Here we go. And here's Nina Johnson. She is a realtor in she told me it's a tri-county.
Tri-counties
So,
area, right?
so I'm going to let her take away a good friend of mine, Nina Johnson. So I'll let her speak.
Michael, thank you so much for having me today, honestly. And yes, this is the Tri-Counties area. At least we refer to it that way. That would be Sacramento, Placer, and El Dorado counties. And I too am a transplant from the Bay Area. And I know that we all have unique concerns when we're leaving the Bay Area. We love it there. I'm sure you do, right? We have
Yep.
unique culture there. And we want to make sure that where we land feels like home, right? So I've done a little bit of investigating. Where would you like me to start? Would you like some
Okay,
statistics?
so I think I see you mostly in Sacramento area, so I think that's a great area to start. But Sacramento being more urban, but you also cover other counties, so we can start in Sacramento. Give us a little bit of feel like what's the median price, what kind of square footage people get, that type of thing. And I think we all know it's capital for California, but what's the life like? And then perhaps move out to the other two or the county level and cover the rural area.
Okay, well, we get a little bit of urban sprawl out here.
Yep.
So when you talk about Sacramento proper, let's talk about the county overall, which runs basically from the Yolo and Solano County line, and it goes, which is like UC Davis area or West Sacramento, south into Elk Grove, north into some rural communities, and east all the way to a place called Folsom, California. I specialize on the eastern side of Sacramento County and also Placer and El Dorado. And all of these communities stretch along the foothills, the beginning of the uprise against the mountains. And it's incredibly beautiful here. And
Yes,
we
I've
have,
been there. Grass Valley area, I mean, drive
yes,
up to Tahoe area, kind of go through where you're at.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the neat thing about that, Michael, is these highways and these communities were really established by the pioneers and the settlers and the gold miners. So every community that is in this area
Very
has,
unique, yes.
yes, and they each have their own personality, their own little remnant. Let's look at Folsom. Excuse me for looking away, but I want to make sure I'm giving you the right market report for that. So Folsom is a community that is tucked into the Highway 50 side of the Sacramento County of Sacramento. And the average income for Folsom is about $106,000, and that's according to the 2020 census. We have, the market is slowing down everywhere, Michael, but the average price for a home over the last 30 days is about $795,000.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what your market data looks like, but moving to a community where you get much more space,
Yes.
where
I
the
mean, it's
amenities.
definitely a lot less. Our median price is 1.5 here. So,
So there you go. So your clients could possibly relocate and have a little cash in their pocket for retirement. I want to talk about two other communities. One is called Fair Oaks. And what I do like about the greater Sacramento area, Michael, is we can be very specific about where someone is coming from and the types of amenities they're used to. So if someone lives, say, for example, in the Berkeley area, they might be attracted to a community here called Fair Oaks. It's very artistic. It kind of reminds you of the Kensington, Berkeley communities and that kind of sensibility. If you're from the Walnut Creek or even the area near you, you might be interested in something like Roseville or Folsom. The shopping is the same. We have very similar experiences with shopping, Tiffany, all the great things. And in fact, Michael, Sacramento is the farm to fork capital of the state. So we have great food and produce here.
And it's the Rice Delta.
And it's the Rice Delta, exactly. So we get a real treat with that. So you were mentioning jobs, and I know that you're in Silicon Valley, and so people are interested in that job potential here. Intel is here.
Yeah. I know Roosevelt. I mean, Intel is in Roosevelt, but also I think a lot of people are like, from last year when they can work from home, they really moved out of the area and then into, larger space, cheaper area, and, more nature. So I think your particular area offers a lot of that. So for people who can still afford to do that, and let's say 3 days out of the week they stay at home, and then maybe 1 or 2 days they commute into the work, 2 hour drive is probably still consider can be
Still
considered
doable. Well, you're right. Certainly it's still within commute distance, but in all honesty, there are some amazing tech programs happening here. We've got a new research and development company coming in that's a subsidiary of Intel, and it's coming to a place called Rancho Cordova. And in order to receive those clients, Michael, there are so many beautiful brand new homes that they're building to help facilitate that new exodus into our community. So I just want to share this. So our major jobs here are government, as you know, this is the state seat.
State capital, yes.
Right. Engineers to emergency services. We've, as I mentioned, we have farm to table here. So great restaurants and food cultivation and delivery. Healthcare is huge up here, Michael. So if any of your clients are nurses or practicing or physicians, we've got UC Davis Medical, lots of research up here. Sutter is here. Kaiser is here. And then, as we mentioned, the IT jobs. So employment is a real opportunity up in all three of these areas.
Great. Sounds good.
So, and then I'll just say this about recreation, and I'm sure hopefully you will edit this appropriately, sir, right? But I just want to share that we have recreation here, which is the American River and the Sacramento River trails are phenomenal. So all the communities that line those are just beautiful, great outdoor recreation, and we just love it.
Yes, here. I have done whitewater rafting in the area, North Fork and all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't done quite that, but I do. Well, that's so fun.
It was a while ago, yes.
Well, maybe we should schedule that. Yeah. I'll do that with you. But we have so many lakes here, Lake Natomas. We have the Salmon Run. In fact, that's about to start again, and or actually just concluded, but we have the Salmon Run for most of the year, which is such a neat experience for fishermen. It's just a very unique community. Michael, I would tell your clients that before they make the jump, we would narrow down their choices and the types of things they want for their specific community, and then make it appropriate for them. And that way their search is more direct and efficient. We have probably the largest retirement communities are in Roseville and Lincoln, Sun City, Roseville and Lincoln. And these are protected communities for age 55 and older, for people that just want to feel like they're protected. They're with others that have similar interests, great sense of community, and very affordable. Homes there are around $600,000. And yeah, so it's really great. And they're beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see people downsizing and go, oh, I'm going to cash out, put some money in the bank and go travel and, get a great house in Sacramento area, whatever the surrounding vicinities that you have that, I mean, there's a lot of choices. I think we passed around the area to Tahoe, but also we kind of lingered in the area because of the river. And I mean, Sacramento itself, there's Old Town and um,
Right.
riverfront and all that. So I mean, it's it's not quite Silicon Valley as we call it, but also, I mean, our area has its price, which is
Right.
everything is too expensive. So
Well, and I'll tell you, Michael, I was reluctant to relocate here years ago because I didn't know the area. I came from the East Bay. I was very
mhm.
comfortable in Berkeley, and I grew up in Moraga. I don't know if your clients
Yes,
know where that
I know
is.
the yeah.
So I was a bit of a Bay Area snob, which is okay. We're all allowed
We're
to
all
be
like
that.
that. We're all like that.
Exactly. And I think we have a very unique culture coming from the Bay Area.
Yeah,
And
we're spoiled. Yeah.
we are a little spoiled. So I've done my best to really make sure that my clients that are moving here feel comfortable with what they have access to. We do have pedestrian communities here, Michael, but honestly, things are a little further apart here for the
Mhm.
most part. Um, Fair Oaks is one of the communities that is very pedestrian. You can live and walk in that community comfortably. But
Okay.
some of the areas, and predominantly so, you do need a car. So that's a little bit different from the Bay Area.
Okay. So I think, that's a really great overview of the area. So if I were to ask you, like, put it in three bullet items, why people should move to the area that you're describing, what are those three things?
Well, okay, number one, I would say the value of your home and the space you can purchase for the dollar. I mean, hands down, you can have twice as much square footage and much more land than you could ever find in the Bay Area for the same value. So that
Yes.
would be number one. Number two, the lifestyle. We're a little bit slower, but you can find exciting things to do if you plug in here. We have very vibrant and extremely diverse cultural experiences here. So I would say that the lifestyle attracts people here, and that would have to include recreation. And so all of that, your lifestyle. And then the third would just be a slower pace. I think access to everything in Northern California, but still it's a little bit less anxious here. I mean, and I think so maybe that goes along with lifestyle. So let's say value for your dollar, lifestyle and recreation, and then I mean that's it.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like diversity, culture, and slower pace. Actually, people can be more sane rather than going insane in our area.
Exactly. No, exactly.
uh,
And
and the price is right.
the prices are amazing. Michael, the new properties I mentioned to you, they start in the mid 550s, and these are
Yeah,
brand new
we
homes.
cannot find anything under a mill at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Any
and
new
I
constructions
yeah.
now is basically about a mill. So that's you know, consider that being your entry level home. That's really unthinkable. Yeah.
Well, most people can't approach that as a new home. And I will say this, so we also really pride ourselves in some great communities with incredible schools. So if you've got families that are looking to maybe upsize, get a larger property
Mhm.
that they have children, then I would definitely recommend that we look in Rockland or Granite Bay. Both of them have exceptional schools, highly rated, uh, great sports and activities for the kids. And once again, you get your property for such a great savings. So I'd love to meet any clients that you have.
Okay, great. Let's do this and we'll keep in touch. And anybody who's like, I am thinking about moving out of area, here's one choice. Um, so I also noticed, I think right now, I kind of went through a couple of my questions on where to move to and what are the like characteristics and what's good about these things. I mean, Northern California, you're still 1.5 to 2 hours away from Silicon Valley. You get
Right,
most of whatever that you're used to.
right,
And on the other hand, if you move out another half hour, you're into wilderness. You're into, um, all the, because my daughter actually is interested in like closer to Tahoe somewhere, and she would like to look for like a cabin or something there. So I think, younger people do have, this like, I want to work where I work, but when I rest, I want to go somewhere that is more remote, something that has like great view, great activities all year long and all that. So
Well, Michael, I'm going to jump in here and share
go ahead.
this with you then for your daughter and for others who are interested in a similar kind of outlook. Yes, Grass Valley, as you mentioned, that's Placer County, but we also have El Dorado County, which is the Placerville area, the greater Placerville
Mhm.
area. That has a lot of what your daughter is looking for. You're much closer to places like Pollock Pines and areas that feel like you're in the mountainous area, but you're very close to all the amenities that you need. That's what I think I love the most about our
Yeah.
community.
Kind of
Uh,
like best of the two worlds, right?
it
You're
really
sitting in the
is.
middle.
Exactly. It really is. Surprisingly so.
Yeah. So I appreciate all these pointers, and I would, I kind of ran out of question on my side, so I wanted to mention this to the viewers that you are also a very accomplished nutritionist.
I am a nutritionist, Michael. I was a
What can
nutritionist
you
before.
share with us about the secrets of youth?
Well, that's very sweet. So I am 58 years old. I feel great. And and I think a lot of that is I'm really focused on a whole food diet. So I had most of us that come into nutrition as a career path, we have some kind of health challenge that we've overcome on our own. And that was certainly the case for me. And finding that balance, I'll give your viewers one quick tip. Rather than thinking about what to avoid, I would encourage them to think about what to increase. So can you add vegetables? Can you add fresh organic produce? Can you switch from commercial beef to grass-fed and pasture-raised dairy and eggs and whatnot? So make the changes slowly, but focus on your gain instead of what you're avoiding.
It just reminded me that I'll mention this because we both belong in a great coaching group, and
Mhm.
one of the books that was recommended, and Nina has read and also recommends the other, is the Gap and the Gain,
Great
and
book.
that
Yes.
that discussion that you just had, looking for the gain, like what can you increase? That's exactly what Gap and Gain talks about.
Right.
Everything is really a gain in life rather than looking at what I don't have and focusing on that, because a lot of people could be like, hey, I quit smoking, and I was doing 80 cigarettes a day, or now I'm down to one, but looking at that one and going, I failed. And that's
Right.
exactly a gap mentality. We gained so much by losing already. So I appreciate that.
Well,
It's a
that's
great,
really the truth. And honestly, it works because then
yep.
you're satiated and you're not looking for, I mean, look, believe me, I've never met a cookie I didn't like, Michael, but but I
Could I
certainly
use
do.
that?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay.
But I start with the healthy foods. So if you begin your meal prep and you're planning your week, and then allow yourself a few indulgences, it's really about how those make you feel. And sometimes food can really be a mood elevator and an enhancement to our lives. And we don't want to push that away either.
Okay, so thank you so much with your time, and I think we'll end the recording now. I have one more question I wanted to ask you though.
Sure.
So thanks. So I'll see you later.
Thank you so much for having me, Michael.
Okay, let me terminate.